Hello there, I'm Moldy, and time again I've tried to come up with the perfect minifigure display, and I think this might be the last time I can turn it into a video because I don't know where I'm going from here. So in the past you've seen me make the perfect dustproof minifigure display, which is basically a really wide window frame that you might struggle to put the doors on this version, but we did perfect that later on. And I've also made the perfect anti-cracking minifigure display and explain the numbers behind why this stops your minifigure legs from cracking. But what if we could combine both of them and have them as big as this display on the wall? Well, that's exactly what I've done with this possible final update. I know I've definitely said that before for one of these, but hopefully, like I say, this is the last minifigure update because I've designed a 6x14 Lego sized plate. So we're keeping with the Lego dimensions here that can display 14 minifigures. I do believe last time we made a video about this display, I could fit about 12 on each of the 6x14 plates that came in that unit. But not only is this a 3D printed file that is available to you, you could also recreate this using official Lego pieces. So let's take a look at what I've done. So as you can see, I've completely forgot to unplug my mic. Let's try that again. As you can see, the top 4 rows of the display are not only black and orange so that they match up with all the drawers around it, and I still can't believe about a year ago I was not the big I didn't like orange at all, but now I've got a mostly orange display. But they also fit so much more snugly in the display. It'll be hard to show you with these other builds around, so let's move these down for just 1 second. And what you can see with the bottom row is that the minifigures are 1 stud closer to the front of the display. So you've got Vader and Chewie's arms just hanging out the display. If I was to brush my finger up, you see it's bumping into the arms of all of these minifigures, whereas every other row fits nice and snugly into this display. The display itself, it's like 30 quid at a Smith's here in the UK. It's got some acrylic panels that go over the front to keep the dust in, and those panels are unable to be put on with these minifigures sticking out the front. So what's so special about these orange displays? Having the 3D printer in the same room as all my Lego is so much easier than having to walk to a different room because I end up forgetting about it and it takes like an hour longer than it should. But I've got the final 5 display stands, like I said, 6x14 plates that I've 3D printed here. But stick around to the end of the video and I'll show you how to build this in Lego. So what makes these so special? Well, you've probably noticed that these look a little out of system, and these tubes sticking out aren't actually where a stud would be because I've gone with the opposite leg. And again, when we're building these in Lego, I can explain fully what I've done, but this does work with official Lego plates. This is possible, just not exactly like this, which is why I've opted to 3D print these instead. I think it works just a little bit nicer. But in each of these holes sticking out of the plate at the bottom, we've got enough room to take a 1x1 Lego stud and just pop it in at the top. Not much force is needed, and now we've got an official Lego stud that we know will not end up cracking your Lego minifigures, well, at least the chance is rock bottom. Combine this with the acrylic cover and we've got a crackless dust-proof case for our Lego minifigures. Not only that, but with 14 minifigures to a play and 5x5, 25 plates in the unit, that's 350 minifigures we can display in that display case, which is at least a little bit more than we could before. So for the next couple of minutes, I'm going to be studying down these final 5 displays, then we can transfer the minifigures and take a look at the final display. Perhaps the new Lady Gaga song wasn't the best thing to put on whilst I was trying to add studs to these displays because I didn't get a lot of work done. And then the light cut out with perfect timing for the next video I had, which was Mark's latest upload of Poppy's Playtime Classic. But now that we've finally got all the studs on, took me long enough, I've got the bottom 5 displays which cover the sequel trilogy characters. We do have 2 Han Solo minifigures that will be moved up a shelf, but we've got Rey, Finn, Poe Dameron, Kylo Ren or Ben Solo, 3PO, Anakin, Vader, and R2, and last but not least, Chewbacca, which all should fit on this brand new display. Like I said, we're going from about 12 minifigures a plate up to 14, but R2-D2 is going to be the most difficult one, because I think instead of 14, we can only probably fit about 6 R2s on there. Thankfully, I only have 6 to display, so let's get them moved over and see which ones work best. In fact, we're going to start off with C3PO, because you might remember a video I did not too long ago going over all of my custom 3POs. Pretty sure I probably have every type of C3PO now, as well as Luke Skywalker. There was so much love for this Geonosis C3PO that you all urged me to pick up a Geonosis battle droid, which goes for so much money. Thankfully, Filoni Clones was generous enough to send us a free battle droid. Well, I won it in a giveaway, so this isn't a sponsored segment by any means, but big shout out to Filoni Clones anyway for giving us the Geonosis B1 battle droid, which is all we need to create this perfect Geonosis 3PO minifigure. By taking the backpack, putting it on our B1 battle droid, and then swapping the head out for C3POs, like I said, I'm not going to be cutting up the head to put it on our other minifigure. We have a Geonosis C3PO minifigure. Finally, an accurate one in our collection, at least for the most part, because you also said about swapping 3PO's golden head with the silver, I think it was like T14 or the other one from A New Hope. This might be that one that I keep forgetting the name of, which I've put on top of a Forlom torso for an Attack of the Clones, which the Attack of the Clones version is a lot more gold than this minifigure. So we're going to take the golden head of the Geonosis 3PO, which is a lot more accurate to Attack of the Clones, because 3PO was always gold underneath, barring his red arm and silver leg. It's very interesting that he didn't have a red arm, I guess, in the original trilogy, but that's because they were filmed first. And taking the silver head onto our Geonosis 3PO, I'm going to keep my eye out for that golden element that come out in January, but for now, the 3D print will do fine. And here we have the last two 3POs updated for the collection. I guess I still need to get the official Bounty Hunter C3PO from the Dark Falcon, but besides that, my collection's basically complete. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 versions of C3PO, which means we've even got a bit of space for a few more, 2 more customs to add to our collection. But I'm not going to make you sit through me moving the minifigures over to this display, because we've used the official LEGO studs in there. We can clip the right foot of each minifigure onto the stud, not have to worry about any of them cracking. And it's just peace of mind for your minifigures on display. Not only have we filled that display with more minifigures, there'll be a final shot in a second with the acrylic covers on, so wait for that. But it actually marks a week, 7 full days of when my video rearranging my display was meant to come out. It came out a day late, but we're still counting today as 7 full days. And I must say, I was right. I still really do like it. It's so much easier to access the parts. And the only thing of this whole display that I would like to change is moving this parts drawer and swapping it with the third one along, just because I use the parts more. Rather than rearranging them and taking them off the wall, I'm just going to swap around the drawers and perhaps even keep some of the drawers that I use on that display. So I'm so happy we did it. And if you haven't watched it, check it out on the end screen. But first, let's take a look at my finished minifigure display with the doors on. In case I don't see you again, may the bricks be with you always.